Shane. A-L-A-N Allen. A-L-A-N Allen. Allen.
Hey, episode 63, I think. Oh, I didn't put it on there. Oh, well. I didn't put it in the title. Oh, well. Whoops. I'm stupid. Anyway, it is the NFL season has started. 2025 to 2026. And apparently right now the Chiefs are losing, so that makes me happy. And I think that makes Alan happy too. How are you doing, sir?
I'm going into this year with not quite as much fervor, but roughly the same message as last year, which is anyone but the Chiefs.
Yeah.
We had to wait till the last minute to get our wish to come true last year, Shane, but it finally
That's
did.
true. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So now I would prefer not the Eagles, but it's still not the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like if it's Eagles Chiefs again, it's still not the Chiefs.
I mean, I would also prefer not Chiefs and Eagles too. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you would want the Cowboys, but they traded. I don't know if you remember this, but they traded Micah Parsons to the Packers,
which is starting to look like a good trade if you've seen the news.
He's injured, or he looks right.
Micah Parsons has a what do they call it? Like a little D3, D4 disc situation going on.
Maybe Jerry Jones isn't so senile.
That just didn't get disclosed until, like super recently. But I mean, when trades like that happen, physicals take place and stuff. So it's not like the Packers had to know, and obviously they decided whatever, it's worth the risk. He's one of the best defenders in the NFL. We're going to get him. Sure. But it is worth remembering that everyone, including myself, ripped Jerry Jones for not just paying the man. And now they're saying he's questionable to even play week 1. If Parsons ends up missing time this year and or isn't able to perform at his usual level, and the Cowboys got 2 firsts plus Kenny Clark, I mean, just saying.
It's not looking too bad if you say it like that. But you know how it is. Micah Parsons is one of the best players in the league, and everyone's like, I can't believe 2 firsts. That's it. Kenny Clark, who's that?
Well, last year, the Green Bay, they got skunked by the Lions last year, which is who their week 1 opponent is. But if you're looking at things from the Cowboys' perspective, they're getting 2 first-round picks plus a defensive tackle. I mean, they want to see. Let's see Green Bay go 0-17 back to back. That's what we need. Let's get maximum value out of those picks. I mean, in terms of the deals of the trade, I actually don't think the details of the trade are all that bad. It's just you want him on your team. So, like, if the role was reversed and you could go out and get, TJ Watt, would you give that up to have him on your team because he's not right now? The answer is probably yeah. Like, if you had it to give, you go get him. Especially if you felt like, hey, this is our year. We're making a run at the title. You'd want that guy on your team. So I don't know, I'm still not like, I'm not trying to make the argument that, this is totally good, you guys, this is not cope. But I'm just saying if Parsons, it's like if Parsons can't go this weekend, and then let's say he misses 3 weeks, let's say he misses 4 weeks, let's say Green Bay is second behind the Packers again, let's say the Vikings overperform and Packers are third again in the division. Is the trade that good? I'm just saying.
I mean, 2 firsts, you never know. Maybe one of those 2 firsts can turn into a really good player. You never know.
Yeah, it of course, it depends on where Green Bay's picking, but a first is a first, right? Like even if Green Bay finishes roughly where they finished last year, let's say, just as an example, it's still going to be, a 20th something first round pick, and they're getting a couple of those the next couple of years, plus obviously their own picks. So, that's a lot of top end talent on rookie contracts. Kind of reminds me to the same Cowboys from some years back when they had like Ezekiel Elliott on a rookie contract and Dak Prescott on a rookie contract and Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb right now. And it's like, and they squandered that, right? Like they had that one year where they were like a top seed, and of course they blew it like the Cowboys always do. But they squandered it because they had that much of their starting line on rookie contracts, knowing that, well, we're going to have to pay out big bucks eventually. But this potentially gives them the opportunity to have some quality guys on the starting front on rookie contracts for the next 3 to 4 years. So I don't know. Like I said, I promise you, this isn't just me coping. Like I said, I'd rather have Micah Parsons, but we'll see.
Oh, yeah. Well, also with them having a Packers first round pick, now they have 2 first round picks. Now that doesn't obviously that's not going to guarantee that both of those picks are going to return into all-stars. And thank goodness we got rid of Micah Parsons. We got these 2 great young players or whatever. But again, we're not really going to know how good this trade is until like 3-4 years later. That's usually how it goes with trades. You don't really know. Of
course.
Yeah. So, but of course, everyone has to overreact. And, Jerry Jones is a stupid retard, which, granted.
Which is true. Yeah. No one's, that wasn't being disputed, but
yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, it reminds us of like Lions, Rams, right? Like when the Lions traded Matthew Stafford to the Rams, everybody knew that the Rams were going all in to win a Super Bowl, and they did. And so by that metric, they win the trade. And, stupid Lions, they finally build a decent team and Stafford's gone. It's like, yeah, but part of them building that team was letting Stafford go. And if you had known that when Stafford was traded, that like 3-4 years later, the Lions would be the number 1 seed in the NFC, you'd say, oh, well, in that case, let's make the deal, right?
The art of the deal, right?
Just don't. No, this isn't a politics stream anymore, Shane. This is a football stream. Remember?
I know.
Okay. All right.
Where are we at? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, where we're at, it's 10-3, the 2-minute warning. Chargers on the drive, first down at the 31-yard line. But in the meantime, what are we doing? What's next on tap for us?
Well, next on tap.
Wide open touchdown. He missed it. I'm sorry. What?
Speaking of, talking about injuries, CMC apparently has a calf injury. Who would have seen that coming? Okay. They're saying, and I mean the team, like the Niners, Kyle Shanahan was even like, I'm not going to talk about Christian McCaffrey, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If he plays, great, right?
Yeah.
But now that trade for Brian Robinson Jr. is looking pretty good. Like, they actually have a good running back that can counter with him. But the thing is, Kyle likes to run CMC down to the point where his shoes are pretty much going to be burned off his feet by the time it takes him out of the field.
I think the 49ers knew going into this year that even if miraculously CMC's got another good year in him, they still want to be splitting carries. Like he's not that guy anymore where he needs to tote the rock, 25, 30 times a game. It's like, how about we get him 15 touches a game with, let's get him 10 to 15 and a few screens, and we'll see, kind of see what happens. There's nothing wrong with that. Goal line situations, whatever. Or vice versa. You bring in a bruiser and be like, this is going to, hey, listen, this is going to be our short yardage guy. We're going to save you from all that contact. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know if you're planning to have us go through like the whole season preview, but as I put in my preview, I have CMC on my short list of players set to retire soon or should. Mm-hmm. And I think CMC's been washed up for 2 years. And I'm not saying that like, he sucks. No, I think he was a great player. But I think when the 49ers brought him in, he was anxious to leave Carolina because I think Carolina was already done. They had already peaked. He wasn't going to be a winner in Carolina. The 49ers were on, riding high. but his best years were already behind him when he showed up on day one. And then what'd they get? They got 8 weeks out of him in 1 year. And then since then, he's been on and off the field, mostly off for the last couple of years. I mean, dude, and he's a running back that. This guy's not getting better. You know what I mean? This guy is not going to, he may get back on the field maybe, but he's not going to get better. And the 49ers want more production. He's not going to give you more. At best case scenario, he gives you a shadow of what he once did. That's it.
Well, so this is how you know if what you're saying, let's split the carries between him and whoever else behind him.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you're going to know if they're listening to you or they're not listening to you. And it's, how many carries did CMC have today? Oh, he had 25. Mm-hmm. Why? You're basically trying to kill him again. So
yeah.
During the 2023 season when they went to the Super Bowl, that was like CMC on fucking Superman. That guy was just doing whatever he wanted to do. And then then the year after that, we all know what happened with him. He pretty much could not play. I mean, he was in Buffalo. He didn't even get hit, and he just slid. And he's like, okay, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And so, he's injury prone. That's going to be the moniker on him now forever. He's injury prone. Like you say, he's a running back. So they don't have a good shelf life anyway. You have 3 or 4 years, maybe, good 3-4 years. After that, it's over. It's over.
So I have CMC in the same category as I also have Matthew Stafford. It's a little bit different situation because Stafford has been on the field, but he's had a lot of issues this offseason, whereas CMC he's barely been on the field in a year or two. Yeah. And playing running back at that. But Matthew Stafford's in the same boat where I feel like the Rams going into this season, it was if Stafford can get back on the field and play 17 weeks at a high level, the Rams don't have to blow things up yet. They still have a chance. I mean, they were in the playoffs last year. Look, the Rams were the team that gave the Eagles the best fight on the way to their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it's still largely the same team. If Stafford's got one more year of juice in the tank, then so be it. But I think the Rams as an organization also know, but this is it for him. I think there's no way Stafford plays beyond this year. I would love to see him get through this year. It would be a shame if, in week 8, he can't go anymore and that's the end of it. Cause then that's going to totally I know it's not going to be a shame to you that the Rams season is derailed and they forfeit the last 9 games, but that they're completely riding this year on, we need Stafford to be able to go for one more full season. But whereas with the 49ers, it's look, I'm sure they would love to have a vintage CMC this season, but they really need to just go ahead and be saying, hey buddy, why don't you just go ahead and hit that retirement button so we can take you off the payroll next year. But I think neither of those guys are here. I'll give you a couple of more runner-ups. I think we're getting ready to see a changing of the guard at quarterback. So we already said Stafford. There's going to be Joe Flacco. Flacco caught lightning in a bottle a couple of years ago with the Browns. It was fun. It was a lot of fun to see Flacco coming in out of retirement and playing the back half of that year and going to the playoffs with the Browns. That was a lot of fun. But that was 2 years ago, number one. It's already been 2 more years. He's now officially in his 40s. And 2, is he going to be able to do that a full season for this Browns team? I think Flacco's done after this year. Stafford's done after this year. And, oh, crap. Who's my other one, Shane? Who was my other quarter? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, A-Rod.
No matter what happens first of all, I already have my pick in. The Steelers are done. Tomlin's out after this season. I think Mike Tomlin's an amazing coach. But he will lose his job the year that the Steelers do not have a winning record. He's got 18 consecutive seasons with a winning record. He will be out of that job if he doesn't make season 19. And he won't make it with Aaron Rodgers trying to run their offense. And that'll also mean the end of the Aaron Rodgers era as well. So
how old is Aaron Rodgers? 200,000 years old?
He's 41, going to turn 42, whereas I think Flacco is 40 or 41 or just turned 40.
He's really trying to be Tom Brady because Tom Brady played into his 40s and he won a Super Bowl. So,
well, Yeah, but I mean, Tom Brady was still playing at a high level right at 40, and so then he
Sure.
played a few more years. Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers didn't even make it there. Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers has not been good for when Aaron Rodgers was 37, Aaron Rodgers had already kind of hit the wall. Maybe he still had the arm, but he didn't have the body for it. And yeah, it's been another 4 years since then. So now he's done, man.
Here's because I'm looking through your preview here. Here's the one name that I would love to see retire, and that would be one Travis Kelce, who's playing right now. Because remember, actually, he's no longer Mr. Kelce, he's Mr. Swift now. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, he's Kelce Swift. I think that's the way they decided to do it.
Yep, that's right. Because Ted Swift has way more money, way more popular.
Yeah, he should divorce her and then her have to pay alimony.
Oh, geez. You got to pay me $500 million a year. God damn. God, come on.
Well, I just wanted to check since you mentioned that. Let's see how the first half is about to come to an end here. It's probably going to be 13-3, barring a last-second Hail Mary by the Chiefs. Travis Kelce has 1 catch for 10 yards.
Oh, yeah.
He has 1 catch for every Chiefs player he's knocked out of the game. So he knocked his own receiver, Xavier Worthy, out of the game. He has 1 catch. So,
oh my God. All right. So I'm going through your preview here, and I want to know what order do I want to go through?
You just top to bottom. We kind of already done a couple of segments. You can just go back to the top.
All right, go to the top. All right. So non-playoff teams from last year you project to make it this year.
Yes.
And you said Cincinnati Bengals, which, I mean, you have Joe Burrow. You're always going to have a chance with him because he's great.
Exactly. So, my top pick for AFC team to go from sitting at home to being in the playoffs is Cincinnati Bengals. They also locked all that in, right? You got Joe Burrow, of course. Yeah. They just paid Jamar Chase $161 million extension. Then they gave T. Higgins $115 million extension. So that's obviously the management saying, please, Joe, don't leave Cincinnati.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, sorry, buddy. You're still going to have to score 50 points a game because we have no defense. But, hey, we've got your best friends here at wide receiver. But they have made some changes on the defensive line, brought in Mike Pennell, new defensive coordinator, Al Golden, right? And also, too, you got to remember – Joe Burrow, he's kind of had some on-again, off-again injury stuff over the last couple of years. And then last year was supposed to be his big year to be healthy. But then he kind of got dinged up again, had some wrist stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, what can the Bengals look like if those 3 names we listed, Burrow, Chase, Higgins, and also Chase Brown at running back. What do the Bengals look like if those 4 guys play 17 weeks? And I think the answer is a lot better than a 500 team. And they're gonna look, the Steelers. I'm picking the Steelers to be terrible. I'm picking the Browns to be terrible, which everyone is. So I was like, that's you got 4 wins baked into the pie. If you can figure out a way to split with the Ravens, you're 5-1, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that team's going to the playoffs. I'm not saying that they're like my trendy Super Bowl pick or anything, but I think that that's a playoff team.
Well, also Trey Hendrickson, you got him still. So
yeah, you got him to not quit the team.
Right,
yes, that is true.
We need you. You're the only good player on defense.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next one that you said for the AFC, because we're sticking with AFC for now, is you said the Miami Dolphins as your second choice. Now, I like Mike McDaniel, but I think just like with Kyle Shanahan and their offenses, it's stale. Like, we've seen it. We know what it is. People in a lot of defenses have kind of figured it out. So it's really one of those, well, can they also step it up?
Yeah.
So can Mike McDaniel make some new offensive schemes or anything like that? We'll see.
So here's the thing with the Dolphins is my pick is the Bengals. This is my second choice because I wanted to have 2 for every category. And the category is they had to have been a non-playoff team last year. They make the playoffs this year.
Right.
To be honest with you, the pickings are kind of slim. It's like, dude, the Titans and Jags ain't going to the playoffs, right? Like the Browns ain't going to the playoffs. The Raiders ain't going to the playoffs. You see what I'm getting at here?
Geno Smith, are you serious? Come on now.
The Jets ain't going. Sorry guys, Jets ain't going to the playoffs.
No, they got black head coach. It's good. We're good now.
So the process of elimination there is that if you have a Dolphins team that was, I think they were 8-9 last year. So you're right on the edge of 500 last year. Look, do I think Mike Vrabel's a good coach? Yes. But do I think that the Patriots are going to magically be good in one season? No, I do not. Do I think the Jets are going to be good? Is Tua, whatever you think about Tua can sling it. Is he a better quarterback than Justin Fields? Yes, by a lot, by a whole lot.
Well, yeah.
So again, look at it from a divisional perspective.
That's a good point. Yeah.
If they even if you say that they're going to get blown out by the Bills twice, they're still 4-2 in the division. If you're 4-2 in your division and you're also playing kind of the bottom end of the ladder from some of your out of conference, look, you can go to the playoffs. So I think it's not crazy to see the Dolphins make the playoffs this year. Obviously, Tua can't have his brain burst again on national television.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
They brought in Jalen Ramsey. Supposedly they've worked on their line. When I hear them talking about working on their line, everyone thinks, well, that means protecting Tua, which is true, but it also should mean balancing the offense. Again, I'm with you. I think Mike McDaniel's a fun coach. I think he's a good offensive mind. But if every single game the Dolphins play, Tua has to throw the ball 50 times for 400 yards, and that's to win by field goal, that's not good. That's not good football. So we'll see. We'll see if the balance is there.
All right, so on to the NFC. Teams that didn't make the playoffs, so you think will make the playoffs this year. Now, number 1, I'm all in.
Yeah, here we go. Won't you just take this one? Since I knew as soon as I put these notes together, I just knew wherever you were, you just suddenly felt lighter.
Oh man, I actually have a good day now. Okay,
yeah,
this feels good.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Now, yes, they do have the easiest schedule on paper. That is true.
Yeah,
I still don't even 100% think that. I mean, I would predict they probably go 10-7, 11-6, because I still don't know how good CMC is going to be. Like we've been talking about, their offensive line has always been a weakness, especially under Kyle Shanahan. It's always been a weakness, always.
Yes.
Brandon Ayuk isn't going to be back till who knows when. Demarcus Robinson is suspended for the first 3 games, so we don't know. So they have a lot of let me reword that. They're going to have to rely on Ricky Pearsall, last year's first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
George Kittle.
Don't get shot, Ricky. Yeah.
Or, yeah, that too. Yeah, don't get shot. George Kittle he has to be more of a focal point in the offense.
Yeah,
you can't have Travis Kelce 1 catch for 10 yards in the first half. No, he has to have at least 2 or 3, at least.
Yep.
You know? And then on the defensive side, Fred Warner's still good. Nick Bosa's still good, but they have a lot of young players in defense, more young on the defensive side than on the offensive side. So, but now Robert Saleh is the defensive coordinator again. So that brings a lot of Niner fans, thumbs up. Like, hey, because that Nick Sorensen guy, fuck that guy. I don't even know where he's at. Where is he? Who knows? Who cares? So
I fully expect that Saleh is going to have the defense improved by a number of spots in this one season because we know that he's proven in this organization. I fully expect that
as a defensive coordinator, head coach.
Yes. But by the way, so to recap that, I agree with all that. So again, it's like let's start in the division. I think the Seahawks are going to be improved. I think Sam Darnold is actually going to be okay in Seattle. But that's 49ers Seahawks. That's every year. That's big. That's big. That's a big series.
Yeah, always. Yep.
The Cardinals. There's some pundits out there saying that the Cardinals are going to be better. No, that I have absolutely no faith in the Cardinals whatsoever.
Look, Kyler Murray's is Korean, so I should support him, but I don't. Yeah.
And then you have obviously the Rams, who were a solid team last year, had a good run in the playoffs last year. But again, the big question mark there at quarterback, if Stafford has to be 100% for the Rams to be the 49ers' primary competition.
And do you know
if he's not 100%, yeah, exactly. And so if Stafford's not 100%, then the 49ers, frankly, just don't have an excuse not to make it back to the postseason.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, completely. And you're right. All those names, Fred Warner, George Kittle, Brock Purdy, Trent Williams. I mean, Trent Williams is still one of the best linemen in the NFL. Nick Bosa is still one of the best defenders in the NFL. The 49ers, and look at their schedule, dude. Look at their out of division schedule, because they finished last year. Saints, Browns, Giants, Titans, Colts, Jags, Panthers, dude.
No excuses.
If the 49ers cannot basically do a complete 180 from last year to this, then they have some more foundational issues than just that one-off bad season. We'll put it that way.
I know it's probably later on, but hot take. So, if anyone has some fire going on, here's a hot take for you. If the 49ers do not make the playoffs, Kyle Shanahan fired.
Oh, Shanahan's out.
Yeah.
If they don't make
the playoffs.
What?
How many years has he been the coach there?
Well,
almost 10.
Okay. So what I would say to that, it's not that I am disagreeing with what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just I always apply the same logic that I apply to like college teams that are always like, oh, we only went 11-1. Let's fire the head coach. But who's going to replace him? So do you think the 49ers are a Super Bowl team and they're being held back by Kyle Shanahan? And if you do honestly think that, then who's going to replace him that's going to take this team and this roster to the promised land? If you can't answer those questions, then it might be a tad premature to kick him out. I'm just saying.
Well,
because then you're the Dallas Cowboys, Shane. Do you want to be the Dallas Cowboys? Do you want to be the Dallas Cowboys, Shane?
The way that the owners, own the team, they just look at it as a money grab. Like, oh, I can make money off the 49ers. People know the 49ers. Like, people know the Cowboys. Oh, we make the playoffs, more money in my pocket. We made the conference championship, more money in my pocket. We made the Super Bowl, hell yeah. We lost, whatever. We still made all that money. Who cares? So, yeah, I understand. But here's what I would say about like kind of being premature or whatever. You've made 2 Super Bowls with Kyle Shanahan. You've lost both of them. You can make the argument he's the reason they lost those games. Not in the first Super Bowl, not giving the ball to Deebo Samuel more in the second half. You gave it to him like 1,000 times in the first half, and then the second half gave what, once? Why? He was like dominant. Why you stop giving him the ball? What's wrong with you? It's like Marshawn Lynch not running in the goal line against the Patriots. Why? Why did you do that? In this, the last Super Bowl they were in, 58, not knowing the overtime rules. Really? You didn't know? Let's get the ball first. Why? You're at a disadvantage if you have the ball first. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. I could spend an hour on that whole thing, but that's beside the point. Now, if you get rid of Kyle Shanahan, like you said, who you get to replace him? You have him in the building right now. Saleh. I know he wasn't great with the Jets, but he's with the 49ers, right? The players know him more. The defense will gravitate towards that. And same with the offense. I don't know. Now, of course, you have to hope he brings in a good coordinator because in New York, who did he bring in? Fucking Nathaniel Hackett. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So exactly. So all I would say to that is I think Robert Saleh peaks as a defensive coordinator. I don't think he's head coaching material. I think we've already demonstrated that. Now, do the Jets suck as an organization and it's not all his fault? Absolutely. But we also know that he is completely and totally a defensive guy who's not going to call plays, and he's not going to run the offense, and he's not going to change the scheme. He's not going to coach a quarterback, which means he's bringing those people in. Well, look at the Jets. I mean, they were just atrocious. I mean, they weren't just not good, and it wasn't just Aaron Rodgers is bad, is old or hurt. They were atrocious. So again, it's true that Kyle Shanahan has come up empty in the Super Bowl, but you made it to 2 Super Bowls. Guess there's how many teams in the NFL? What, about 30 of the 32 teams in the NFL have in fact not been to that many Super Bowls in that period of time, and 29 of them didn't win any. So I'm just saying, you gotta have all those questions answered.
Like Herm Edwards said, you play to win the game, not just to get to the Super Bowl. You play to win. So, like, I get it. What are they, 5-3 in Super Bowls? I get it. So I understand that, but you got to win. I mean, Jim Harbaugh went to 3. He went to 3 straight NFC Championship games, 1 Super Bowl. The year they went 8-8, done. Although it wasn't just Jim Harbaugh sucked and they got rid of him. He wasn't having he and the general manager did not have a good relationship at all.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much done by the time the season was over, halfway through the season, really.
And how many Super Bowls did Harbaugh win?
0.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. How many has Kyle Shanahan won? 0. So
how many Super Bowls have almost all the coaches in the NFL won?
0.
So who are you going to replace people with? Salah's won 0, so let's replace him with Saleh.
What? Go call fucking 89-year-old Bill Belichick? Yeah, come on over.
Anyone who saw the start of college football this year knows to not go barking up that tree. But anyway, we got to move on from 49ers. This is not a 49ers channel, Shane. I already gave you the gift of saying that the 49ers are my 0 to hero pick, all right?
Yeah, let's not talk about the Falcons. Fuck the Falcons. Whatever.
Okay, we're not talking about the Falcons. Fuck the Falcons. All right, let's move on.
Okay. So next one. I think we sort of we talked about this a little bit, but you're talking about playoff teams from last year that you project to miss this year.
We're doing the teams going down. Playoff teams from last year that we project will miss the playoffs entirely this year. Yes. And I'm starting off with one that you're like, really? For reals? That's right. The Pittsburgh Steelers have absolutely no chance in the world.
I can't believe you're saying this.
41-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who didn't even look good when he was on point. He didn't play in the preseason. There's a lot of signs pointing there's no offensive chemistry there. He's running a different system. He's running the Steelers offense. They're not changing their offense to suit Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers running the Steelers offense, which frankly I think is the right move, but it's still what little he has left to maximize. They're not maximizing it. They have offensive line issues, which is going to be even worse because they're going to be blocking for a statue back there that's old as dirt.
Hell yeah.
The wide receiver room, other than DK Metcalf, who's a total drama queen, by the way, who's going to catch balls for Steelers? Who's catching Aaron Rodgers' passes?
Oh, I must have missed out on George Pickens. Oh, he's with Dallas. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he's with Dallas.
Oh, Jesus.
He actually looked pretty good. So,
oh,
I mean,
man,
don't get me wrong. I think the Pickens Steelers marriage was over, but I'm just saying that was the only other talent they had at wideout, and he's gone.
DK Metcalf.
And then finally, the biggest thing is the pressure. You want to talk about your plan to win the Super Bowl, not playing just for fun. In Pittsburgh, they're not playing to have even consecutive winning seasons, not even 18 of them in a row, as Tomlin is finding out. They're there to win championships. If they're not competing for first the NFC North title and then a Super Bowl title, they're not interested. Mm-hmm. And everybody knows that this team has kind of been off the rails ever since Roethlisberger was old as dirt and left the league. And obviously, I have no faith in Rodgers. But also, a tough portion of their schedule is actually in the back half. So if this team isn't off to a rip-roaring start, like we're talking 2-1 win-loss record going into mid-season, it's only going to be downhill from there. If this team is struggling, like if this team gets blown out by the Bengals and struggles with the Browns, then bruh.
Oh.
It ain't going to be good. It ain't going to be good. So I'm saying the Steelers are way down this year. And Tomlin is out at the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm looking at their schedule.
By the way, I think Mike Tomlin will be coaching another team 5 minutes after they fire him. But it ain't going to be
maybe the 49ers can fire Kyle Shanahan and bring in Mike Tomlin. There you go. Let's do this. Hell yeah.
So they'll have a defensive head coach, and if he keeps Robert Saleh, it's just all defense all the time in San Fran.
Hell yeah.
No points allowed on either team.
Sounds good to me. 3-0.
Poor Brock Purdy. It's going to be Brock Purdy and Jawan Jennings trying to score 10 points a game so that they can win 10-9.
Love it.
All right. So I want to say really quick, just as a secondary option, Los Angeles Chargers. This pick's not looking so good right now since the Chargers are up at halftime on the Chiefs. But the Chargers, they're in a division where I think the Broncos are going to win the AFC West. We're not even talking about the Chiefs. I think the Broncos are going to win the AFC West. Yeah. And then you have the Chiefs, who I think are going to take a step back this year, but they're still the Chiefs. As long as Patrick Mahomes, they're still, and Andy Reid is there, they're still going to be good. That already puts the Chargers like competing for third. And I don't think the Raiders are very good. I think that they're solidly better than that. But that was a division that put 3 teams in the playoffs last year. I think they only get 2 teams in the playoffs this year, and I think the Chargers might be the odd man out.
Moving on to the NFC. I agree with you about the Vikings. I think that's your first choice, the Vikings, especially with J.J. McCarthy now being the starter. No longer Sam Darnold. He's in Seattle. Mm-hmm. And so you don't really know what you're going to get with J.J. McCarthy. I think really it all revolves around him, how well he plays. Yeah. Like if he plays lights out, then there's definitely a chance of them going far. But if not, it was over by the time their bye week happened,
Yeah, I mean, so with the Vikings, it's like, look, I like Kevin O'Connell. I think Coach Kevin O'Connell is a really good coach. It's like if you were like, look, if the 49ers wanted to get, like if the 49ers thought their defense with Saleh would be good and they wanted to bring in a new head coach, go get Kevin O'Connell, dude. Of course, you're going to have to hire someone else's coordinator or whatever, because it's very rare for a guy to go sideways. Career wise, Kevin O'Connell is a heck of I think Kevin O'Connell is more of the current it guy on offense than like Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel was the it guy.
That's what
Kevin O'Connell is now to be fair though, it's a lot easier to run your offense with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
Well, of course,
little teensy bit easier to run your offense.
He's down there somewhere.
I think it's fair to say that Sam Darnold's resurgence was thanks in no small part to being in that situation with those receivers and that coach and that offense. But I think Sam Darnold as a veteran and just as a talent is better. I think J.J. McCarthy, because J.J. McCarthy, this is practically his rookie season, right? He lost his rookie season to injury. So he's basically a rookie again this year. I think that the team is going to take a step backwards going from Darnold to McCarthy. I personally am not in on McCarthy. I don't think that was a good pick. I don't think that he's going to be great in the NFL. But even if he turns out to be okay, I think this year they're still going to take a step back. And they're in a brutal division. Dude, the Lions and Packers are going to be all up in the Vikings business. So in the same way that we've looked at the potential divisional records and then out of conference for these other teams, the Vikings have a brutal division to fight through. And then you've got some other schedule issues after that. You got some multiple long road trips. They're a team that could start the season struggling. So it's vice versa, that Minnesota, if they drop a few early games, it's not going to be a huge surprise, but it's like, how are they going to fight back into the playoff race if they're already 3 games back on Green Bay and Detroit?
Well, another one that I was thinking about, and I've heard other people mention this, and I'm kind of more in that boat too. You mentioned the Lions. I think the Lions will also take a step back. They lost Ben Johnson. They lost Ben Johnson, their offensive coordinator, who's now coaching the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to do all he can, to get that offense up and running.
Yeah.
So I just think because now, again, I could be saying they're going down, but again, it's if the Vikings are going to go down and the Bears, we don't know what the Bears are going to be. And I feel like each team in the NFC North is around that. I don't want to say mediocre, but they're not the best team in the division. So they're kind of just fighting whatever, if that makes sense.
So I think that if the Lions stay healthy, they steamroll everybody again, just like last year.
Sure.
I don't think it is true that they've got some serious turnover in the coaching ranks. I mean, that's going to happen, right? When you go out there and win 15, 16 games, then everybody's going to want to poach your coordinators. That's the way the cookie crumbles. But Dan Campbell's a hell of a coach. Dan Campbell's the man.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure,
like, dude, I wish, like, if I was starting a team, I'd go get Dan Campbell. What a fucking Chad. But beyond that, it's Goff is still the weak link, of course. But last year, they still managed to be the number 1 seed despite all of those injuries. And then, of course, flaming out in the playoffs wasn't that big of a surprise if you realize they had practice squad guys starting on defense in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And so I think that if the Lions can have a complete reversal of last year, I don't think your prediction's bad in the sense that when you win that many games, then to say that you win 1 or 2 less is not like, it's hard to win that many games every year, no matter what.
Yeah.
But if that team stays healthy, I think the Lions are a great team, not a good team, a great team.
Well, I'm looking at the Lions schedule. They're at Green Bay. It's always hard to play in Lambeau. And then Chicago.
But they're playing at Green Bay in week 1, which means they're playing in Wisconsin in September.
Well, I mean,
not January.
It's true, but still,
So if I'm the Lions, I'm loving that I'm playing Green Bay in week 1 because they're a dome team themselves.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm all about it.
And then they're in Baltimore week 3. And, Baltimore, they're going to be a really good team too. So, but then they got the Browns, but that should be an easy win, right? You would think.
Yeah.
And
the fact that they play at Green Bay and then the Ravens in week 3, it's one of those things where, don't get me wrong, they don't want to go over in those games. But if they did, the season's not over.
Right.
And I think that while those are really tough games, they're getting them at a good time in the schedule. They don't want to play Baltimore in week 16.
Sure.
So week 3 is great. If they're going to play Green Bay again, but it's going to be in the dome. So as a previous year's number 1 seed division winner, their schedule is not horrific.
Yeah.
You're going to have some top end competition, but at least the schedule makers kind of took mercy on them with the home and away dates. But speaking of temperatures, we have our takes of all temperatures. Shane, I want you to give me a hot take, a mild take, and a cold take. We'll start with the hot. What's your you already gave us one. Is that going to be your hot take? Shanahan's out of here?
I would say, if the 49ers do not make the playoffs this year, I think Kyle Shanahan is going to get the boot.
You know what? I'm not going to let you get away with that. So it's not a hot take if you're saying if. This is going to happen. What is your hot take? This is going to happen at this season.
Okay.
Yeah, Lyle just said be a man, Shane, on Discord.
Well, let me see here. Let me look at the all these divisions here. Let's see.
Would you be willing to say that Shanahan is out? Like they make the playoffs, but they fizzle. They're one and done. You think he still gets fired?
No, I think if they make the playoffs again, I think the ownership likes him too much. I just feel not making the playoffs, especially since they didn't make it last year and they don't make it again. I think that'll kind of be the end all be all for him.
Okay.
Yeah. If we're going to go with a hot take, here's a hot take. And you may actually like this one. How about this? I think the Cowboys will win the NFC East. How about that?
Okay. We said hot take, not delusional nonsense. Now Lyle's curious over here on Discord. Lyle, Shane says that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the NFC East.
Hey, I said hot take.
That is a pretty hot take. I'd love to hear a little justification for that. I'll fully admit that last year or last night I actually said that I called Philly by 17. I actually told my friends that if the line were Philly minus 16.5, I would still take the Eagles. And it wasn't like that at all.
Hey, the Cowboys look pretty decent against the Eagles.
They did look decent.
So it wasn't like a huge blowout. No. And I know it's just one game, but Micah Parsons not being out there, it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't too bad, So who knows? Who knows? And plus, look, the Giants suck. So we know that's not going to happen, right? How much confidence do you have in the Commanders being a good team this year?
We'll talk about Jaden Daniels in a little bit because that's in our next segment. But I do think Jaden Daniels will have a little bit of a sophomore slump.
Right.
But I don't know if that's enough. Now the Cowboys did split the series with the Redskins last year, and that was with old Cooper Rush at quarterback. So
there you go.
So okay, let me say this. I'm not buying a hot take of Dallas wins the NFC East, but if Dallas can take care of business against what should be a weaker schedule, since they did finish down there last year, and if they can sweep the Giants and split, put it this way, last night's game wasn't bad. If they can, if their team is good enough to steal one at home against the Eagles, then they're good enough to be a wild card team. I'll give you that. They're good enough to be a wild card team if they can play at that level for 4 quarters and play at that level for the next 16 weeks.
Yeah. By the schedule on paper, the Eagles should have a harder schedule because they won the Super Bowl. The Cowboys don't. So hey, you never know. Right. And like you said, they could win the division and still just be ranked 4. The 5th seed or whatever, however the stupid NFL seeding works or whatever.
Well, I think we're gonna have to speed this up because we got mired in your 49ers BS. So I'm gonna give you my hot take. Okay. Sean Payton, Bo Nix, the offense is even better. He has a sophomore leap, not a sophomore slump, and the Denver Broncos win the AFC West over the Kansas City Chiefs.
I like it. Drake Greenlaw, although he seems to be hurt, so
let's see some mild takes. I'll hit you with my mild take first. Okay. I say that this is the year that the Baltimore Ravens make it back to the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson at the
helm. Making me choke over here.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. I mean, it's Lamar Jackson is the regular season wonder. I know, but I'm saying this is the year that the Ravens make it. Lamar Jackson shows up in the postseason. They make it back to the Super Bowl this year.
Man, that's a good one. Because, they've been super close. But Lamar, And, with that, I mean, if we're going with just like a player getting to their peak or a team supposed to be where they're supposed to be, then I mean, I would just say that could this finally be the year that Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills make it to the Super Bowl? Could it finally be the year?
So there's a theme in this show, which is I expect the Chiefs to take a step back this year. They're not going to win their division. I still think they're going to be in the wild card, but they're not going to win their division.
Yeah.
Which means that process of elimination, the other elite AFC teams have a chance to take a step up this year. I think the Bills will still win the AFC East, but it's the Ravens' year. I think the Bills are not. This is the year that the Ravens will ascend, and the Bills will once again be wondering, what do we got to do to break through? The Bills are never going to win a Super Bowl. Sorry, Dave. Bills are never winning. It ain't happening.
I didn't say they're going to win. I said they're just going to make the Super Bowl. I didn't say that.
Yeah, they're not making it there. It won't even happen. So, but it could, but if the Chiefs aren't in their way, I mean, it's a possibility. I'm just going to move on because you already talked about Kyle Shanahan a little bit, and I already talked about Mike Tomlin. Talking about a couple of hot seat leftovers. So coaches who didn't get fired last year, who are going into this season, and you're thinking, like, these are guys that are at a serious risk of being like the coaches that are first out the door this year, that maybe you're even a little surprised didn't get fired last year. I think the obvious number one is Brian Daboll, New York Giants.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people expected him to be fired last year, and then when he wasn't, that means automatically he's for, like, of course. And then what do the Giants do? Right, they draft Jackson Dart, but then they go out and get Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. They get Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Jackson Dart as their draft pick. And I think Jackson Dart's actually the backup. I think Jameis fell to third, but Russell Wilson's starting. I think Russell Wilson can still play ball a little. I think he's going to be better than Aaron Rodgers, but I think the Giants are a really bad team. And even though there's some excitement there in the fan base with their draft pick, like, they think Jackson Dart might be their guy, and maybe he is, but the whole unit is terrible. So I fully expect the Giants to be awful. I expect them to finish dead last in the NFC East once again. And I think that means Brian Daboll ain't got a snowball's chance in hell of still being the coach. But we've already talked about these other two guys. I'll give you a couple of leftovers. Again, Aaron Rodgers tanks. The Steelers finally, they don't make 19 consecutive winning seasons. Tomlin's out. And I also think, as you already mentioned, Mike McDaniel. I like Mike McDaniel. I think he's a good coach. But that team was built around his vision, and they already peaked. Like, we've already seen what the Dolphins are capable of, and I don't see them magically getting better unless Mike McDaniel has got more up his sleeve. So I think Mike McDaniel is also out after this year.
So what are your thoughts then, staying with the coaches, with Zach Taylor, who's the coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, and Kevin Stefanski of the Cleveland Browns? What do you think about those two?
Kevin Stefanski is one of the best coaches in the NFL. Kevin Stefanski is the best coach that the Browns have had since they reformed the organization. And the only reason Kevin Stefanski is not the coach of the Cleveland Browns for many years to come is because the Cleveland Browns are a retarded organization. If they fire Kevin Stefanski, who is the only remotely decent guy they've had at the helm ever, literally, because the old Browns were the Ravens, so ever for this current Browns, they are a poverty franchise that deserves what it gets. I don't think there's any chance. I don't think there's a serious chance that Stefanski is out. But if the Browns are considering it, I hope they just go ahead and pull the trigger so Stefanski can go coach a good team.
Hey, maybe Kyle Shanahan could get kicked out and bring in Kevin Stefanski.
Man, we're bringing in the A team. So Stefanski's going to coach the 49ers. Salah's sticking around. O'Connell's coming in. McDaniel's going to come on as an offensive analyst. We're putting a team together to will the 49ers back to the Super Bowl, baby.
Shedeur Sanders will come on over.
Yeah, they're going to scheme out a way to make Jawan Jennings Super Bowl MVP. That sounds like
it's happening. I love it.
I know what's so funny about that is that people are laughing hearing that, but they were like one stop on defense and 2 better throws away from Jawan Jennings winning the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, he
like for real.
100%
Like
won.
actually.
He would have been the MVP. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It would have been one of those things where they would have given it to Purdy just because he's the quarterback, but that would have been bullshit. We would have all known it was Jawan Jennings.
Right. Yeah, and I'm like a huge Brock Purdy fan, as you know, and I would have even said, Jawan Jennings should have won that.
Yeah. All right, so we already did the Bon Voyage. All these old fellers are going to be out after this season. Rodgers, Stafford, Flacco, QBs, Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce. Let's do. I'll tell you what. Let's do our lucky 7 lightning round. I hit Mike Maharrey with these questions earlier in the week, so I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with these questions. All right, are you ready?
Okay. I am sort of
Question
ready.
number 1: which of these 2 things is more likely? Aaron Rodgers leads the Steelers to the postseason, or Aaron Rodgers doesn't finish the season as QB1.
Come on, he's gonna roll up. He's gonna like carry the flag like he did last time, and he's gonna hurt his ankle. Get 4th play. There you go.
All right, so you're saying he doesn't finish the season at QB1.
That would have been a hot
take.
Right. He leads the Steelers to the postseason. Jeez.
All right. Question number 2: which rookie quarterback? And I have rookie as an asterisk because JJ McCarthy's technically not one, but which rookie quarterback will win the most games this season? Ooh. Is it Cam Ward, JJ McCarthy, Jackson Dart, or Tyler Shuck?
Tyler Shuck. I'm going to say Cam Ward.
You're going to say Cam Ward?
Yeah, because he plays for the Titans. He's in a terrible division. He should win those games.
My prediction is that Cam Ward wins 0 out of 17 games. I think the Titans are absolutely abysmal, and I think Cam Ward is also a bust. And I know that that's a lot to say going into week 1 of his rookie season, and that makes me sound like a jerk. But the Titans are terrible. I think that the Titans are that bad. So I would say JJ McCarthy, but I'm kind of cheating because again, he's not technically a rookie. Mm-hmm. And he's the starter now for Minnesota. I think Minnesota's a good enough team that they're going to win some games, even if they're not as good as last year. This is a good one right here. Which player will finish with more yards from scrimmage? Travis Hunter or Ashton Genty?
Well, who do the Jaguars have that they could throw to? So Ashton Genty though. God dang, it's like
To me, this isn't a hard question. This is a super easy one in my opinion.
I mean, I would probably say Ashton Genty, but man, Travis Hunter, like, he's probably going to be the offense for the Jaguars. So it's literally going to be him, and that's it.
Hunter looked like garbage in the preseason. He had more drops than catches, and they put him on defense, and he didn't register a stat. That's pretty bad. That's against the practice squad guys. Whereas as you remember, Pete Carroll is now the head coach of the Raiders. Pete Carroll likes to run the ball. Dude, Pete Carroll is about to put Ashton Genty 6 feet under. I actually feel bad for him. You want to talk about the 49ers abusing CMC when he got there? Dude, they're about to give Ashton Genty 50 carries a game. Like he's going to get some yards just from the volume. He's going to get some yards. Whereas I think Hunter has to get open and catch the ball from Trevor Lawrence. So there's a difference there.
Oh.
Yeah, right. All right. Question number 4. Is this the year that the NFL will finally end racism?
No?
Damn.
Yeah.
I was really hoping.
Maybe
next year, guys. Okay. Question number 5. Which first-year head coach will have the best season? Is it Ben Johnson in Chicago, Liam Cohen in Jacksonville, Kellen Moore in New Orleans, Brian Schottenheimer in Dallas, or Aaron Glenn for the New York Jets?
Oh, man.
Shut up, Lyle. Ain't going to be more. Saints suck dog shit.
I'm going to go with Ben Johnson.
You're going to say Ben Johnson for the Bears. Ben Johnson works his magic in year one with Caleb Williams, and they win the most games out of those teams.
Out of the teams that are listed, yes, I will say that.
But I thought you said the Cowboys were going to win the NFC East.
Hey, I did say that.
So the Bears are going to win the NFC North? Jesus, what's wrong with you?
I love it.
I'll tell you what, if that happens, I will do something. You're going to get a $5 Amazon gift card if the Bears and Cowboys.
Let's do this.
All right. So this might be a little bit unfair because we did see last night's game, but even though they lost, I'm actually saying Brian Schottenheimer. The Cowboys have too much talent on their roster.
Yeah.
And last year, of course, obviously they were technically without a bunch of their players, including their starting quarterback. As much as I don't like Dak, they were without Dak. The Cowboys that played last night and the talent they have on that team, I think they're going to win. I don't think they're going to be great, but I think they'll win more games than those other teams. And so it's kind of like, again, by process, Brian Schottenheimer's coming into a better situation. Like some of those guys are totally rebuilding teams from the ground up. Who will have the number one pick in the 2026 NFL draft, which is our positive way of saying who's the worst team in the NFL this year?
I said Cam Ward was going to win the most games out of the rookies, didn't I?
You did. You said Cam Ward was going to be the winningest rookie quarterback. So that's weird if you're saying the Titans.
Can I take my answer back? Okay. Well, trying to be consistent here. I won't say the Titans.
Okay.
I'm going to say I'm trying to think of all the teams now. Oh, crap.
Come on, Shane. This is the lightning round.
Colts.
Indianapolis Colts are the worst team in the NFL, according to Shane.
Anthony Richardson sucks.
Anthony Richardson's not starting. It's Daniel Jones,
exactly.
Who also sucks.
Exactly.
All right. So my picks, I think it's going to be either Saints or Titans. If Cam Ward is this big of a bust as I think he is, it's definitely Titans if Cam Ward's a bust. If he's not a bust, it's still maybe Titans. That's how bad the Titans are. Yeah. Otherwise, it's the Saints. It kind of depends on if old Shane Radler, we affectionately call Booty Cheeks. If Booty Cheeks can win some games, then he ruins their draft pick. But I think like Kellen Moore is playing with house money this year. Like this is his first year as head coach, but no one expects the Saints to like win the division this year. Yeah. So I think it's okay, but I mean, they don't want to be the worst team in the NFL, but I think it's a possibility. Yeah. But now, Shane, you're way too early Super Bowl projection. Who beats who in the Super Bowl?
Well, as a 49ers fan, I have to say the 49ers win the Super Bowl, and they're winning against the Buffalo Bills.
49ers over Bills, says Shane. Well, the Bills losing a Super Bowl is certainly not out of the realm of possibility. But they'd have to make the Super Bowl first, which I don't think they will. I mean, I already picked the 49ers as my turnaround team this year, but I didn't say turn around all the way to the Super Bowl.
I'm in the championship game. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, 49ers fans are so optimistic, says Lyle. So I say we're going to have this year to stay consistent with my pick of the Ravens. This year is going to be the Bird Bowl. The Super Bowl is going to be the Bird Bowl, and it's going to be Ravens over Eagles. The Eagles failed to repeat, losing to the Ravens.
Oh, I can.
Let's go ahead and do the last three picks that we have before we log off here. Tampa Bay and Atlanta, which are odds-on favorites to be first and second place in the NFC South. Tampa Bay is a 2.5-point favorite on the road at Atlanta. Who do you got?
Well, I like your pick. I think, I mean, what? Just a field goal? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, you didn't want to talk about the Falcons earlier, but I did have them as one of my turnaround teams this year for the NFC after the 49ers is the Falcons. So we'll say to stay consistent, since I think the Falcons are gonna be a playoff team this year. They start off in week 1 by knocking off the Bucs at home. But I mean, and it's at home. If they can't win their home opener against their division rival, then they ain't gonna win the division. Detroit at Green Bay, week 1, huge game. Green Bay is a 2.5 point favorite, despite the fact that last year when the Lions were healthy, they murdered Green Bay. And then at the end of the season, when the Lions were hurt, they still beat Green Bay, just by not as much. But Green Bay's a 2.5 point favorite at home.
Hey, I like this one. I like the Washington Redskins 6.5.
Wait,
over
what?
The New York Giants.
That's not even on my list. I asked you who's going to win between Detroit and Green Bay, and Shane says I like the Washington Redskins over the Giants. That's not fair. You don't get to pick Giants opponent. No, that's like
free money, baby.
I mean, it is free money going up against the Giants. That is true, but still. All right, let's pick Sunday Night Football and get out of here. Sunday Night Football, game of the week. Baltimore Ravens at Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's a 1.5 point favorite at home. These two teams played twice last year. In the regular season, the Ravens beat the Bills 35-10. But then in the postseason, Lamar Jackson showed up, and it was 27-25 Bills. So who wins this one?
I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. And
the fighting Lamars. The fighting Lamars. Yeah, regular season Lamar Jackson triumphs in Buffalo.
He's our Peyton Manning.
Yeah, exactly. He's this generation's Peyton Manning, except for Peyton Manning did win some postseason games and win a Super Bowl, unlike some Lamars I know. Yeah. Well, do you have a final thought as we get ready to watch our first full weekend of NFL football?
Well, Lyle did mention something that I do think is a good point. 49ers fans are optimistic, overly optimistic. Okay. I hear you because I see it. I see some fans going, we're the healthiest we've been all man. Every single player's practicing. This is great. And I'm just like I was saying at the beginning, 10-7 would be great. If the Niners were 10-7, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. 11-6, it's pretty good. I've seen some fans be like 15-2, 16-1. I'm like, no. I would be surprised if the 49ers lose no more than 3 games. Like, I want them to win every single game, obviously, but I'm trying to be as realistic as possible here in my own stupid head of mine. 10-7, 11-6 seems to be a good sweet spot. So, my final thought: 49ers 10-7. I'd be okay with that as long as they win the Super Bowl. Thank you.
Oh yeah, as long as they win the Super Bowl, you're okay with that. Jesus, man, what the heck?
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah. I guess my final thought will be as we're watching the second half of Chiefs Chargers here. I did have the Chargers. I had both LA teams as my teams trending down. I said both the Chargers and the Rams because of Stafford and because of the Broncos in the West that those teams are going down this year. Chargers look pretty good right now, so they might be making a fool of me in Brazil. I don't know how much stock you put into a week 1 international game, but the Chargers are moving the ball. Herbert looks good. I've always been a Herbert fan. I know there's a lot of people out there that have kind of out on Herbert. They think he's not the guy. I think Herbert's the guy. I think he just plays for the Chargers. It's like a lot of quarterbacks who have played for the Chargers. You can put up numbers, but you don't win because you're playing for the Chargers. But they're up by 1 right now. KC missed an extra point, and they are driving the ball. They're close to the red zone once again. So I think the Chargers might be making a fool of me here.
Man, why is it going to be always close with these Chiefs games? I've never seen a Chiefs game other than a Super Bowl where it was just, why can't every single one just be a blowout? Like, anti-Chiefs. Come on.
I know that is true. That is a good point. The Chiefs, who won like 13 one possession games last year or something ridiculous like that, they're now once again cruising to they're in a 1-point game in the second half. Here we fucking go.
All
right.
All right, let's see. Play by play. All right, here we go. He hands it off. 2nd and 5. Boom. Oh, first down. He gets a first down. He crosses the 19-yard line.
This would be cheating for me because my feed's a few seconds ahead of yours. So, like, I would look like a genius. I could tell you exactly what's going down.
Jim Harbaugh.
All right, we're going to get a look at Mahomes right here. All right, cue up Mahomes. All right, let's see how fat Andy's doing. How's Fat Andy? Boom, we got Fat
Taylor
Andy.
Swift at?
No, there's no Taylor Swift. Fuck that.
She didn't
Fuck
go to
that
Brazil.
troon. No Taylor Swift.
Come on.
Let's see. We're gonna hand it off. We're running over left guard. Another strong run on first down.
Oh, there you go. Get in there. Oh,
yeah.
All right.
The Chargers do need to. The Chargers can't settle for field goals though. They need to punch this in because between the NFL front office and the refs and Mahomes, they're gonna if there's any room, they're gonna will them into the victory circle at the end of this game. The Chargers have got to go up 2 possessions here. They're only going to go up 1 if they score a touchdown, kick the extra point. If I were them, I'd be tempted to go for 2, make it a 2-possession game.
That genius right there, Steve Spagnuolo. All right,
Justin Herbert, genius.
He asked for motion. Number 44 is in motion. Justin Herbert, he hikes the ball.
Oh, that's got to be a touchdown, dude. That's got to be a touchdown, dude.
What a play from the cornerback, number 35. What a play.
I think the throw was a little bit off. If it had been earlier and laid it out there.
Look at that.
Yeah, the defender got there a little early, by the way. Defender was pulling down his arm. Defender was pulling his arm down. So we'll just let that one go. What do you say? It's a Chiefs player. We're gonna let that play.
Oh, now he's hurt.
Yeah.
All right, 3rd and 3. What do you do? You run the ball again, or you pass it? What would you do?
Well, for one, I say it's 4-down territory, so that might help color your what you plan to do. I mean, me personally, they've had some success running the ball. I'd like to see them pound the rock right here, get the first down. You got 2 plays to do it. We ain't kicking no field goals from inside the 10-yard line. You pound the rock right here, get 1st and goal, and then run your spread. I mean, that last play we just saw, that should have been a touchdown. Between the defender pulling his arm down and the pass coming out maybe a tad late, that should have been a touchdown. The Chargers have really had no problem moving the ball. They've just kind of choked up in the red zone a couple times here. And, of course, the Chiefs were able to just put a touchdown on the board. The Chargers need to get that back. They need to go into the 4th quarter up 2 possessions. I think if they do, they've got this one. But if they leave this a 1-score game in the 4th, then it's nightmare Mahomes all over again.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I know. I'm sorry, buddy. Man. Trigger warning.
Yeah. Can't wait to.
Well, this was fun. Hopefully, hopefully our sports streams can continue unless our teams are losing. In that case, so
just stop talking.
On
about
to hockey. On to something else.
Hey, I'm keeping track of tennis. Actually, who's winning the U.S. Open? Let's see.
That center guy is going to play some other guy. Djokovic lost today.
Yeah, Novak Djokovic. Yeah, but I mean, what he's doing at his age is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's still playing at a super high level. It's just like the absolute most elite of the elite have overtaken him at this point. If 2 guys, pulled out with injury, he could win another major. But it appears he can't quite overcome that top 2, 3, 4.
I see the score right now with Yannick Sinner and that Canadian. He's doing the best that I've seen against Sinner so far. Because Sinner just basically cruised. I mean, he and Alcaraz pretty much just cruised through the whole draw. Just boom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the fact that he lost a set, and now they're deuced now, but he's winning the game, or he's winning the set right now. The 4th set, 1-2.
Yeah,
deuced right now. So, man.
I want to be one of these dudes that gets into like the U.S. Open and then advances in back-to-back matches due to injury. Like you have back-to-back opponents pull out with a hammy, and then like all of a sudden you're in the quarterfinals and you're
right. Yeah.
you're like, wow, what am I doing here? This is cool.
All right, we're back. Justin Herbert in the shotgun. He's got a running back next to him.
Same play. Boom. There it is. That's a good place for us to end the stream right there. Touchdown.
Nice.
Went right back to the same corner.
Let's
the
go.
defense was the defense was nowhere to be found.
All right. Well,
So-
Alan, thanks for doing the show, talking about week 1. We talked about Thursday game a little bit. Who spit first? Dak apparently spit first.
We'll maybe we'll just do this again next week after we'll do our over under reactions next week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
My
It's
overreaction.
1
Brock
week in the
Purdy
tank.
will be the
so
NFL MVP.
Yeah. Week 1 is in the tank, so it's Chiefs 0-17 confirmed.
Hell yeah.
Mahomes and Reed out in KC.
Oh, that would have been a hot take. The Chiefs
Yeah,
don't make the
oh,
playoffs
shit.
this year. Ooh. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Let me give you another final thought before you end the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that we live in the best timeline. We know that we do, because the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish combined for 0 wins. We live in the best timeline.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.